morning or afternoon.
Hello, good morning.
I don't even know
What day it is.
What day it is. All I know is after today's episode, I got to go to work. What you been up to, Mel?
Nothing. Getting out of this funk that I have been in for like the last time I put makeup on and like got dressed was the last time we recorded.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been going through it, girl.
Yeah.
We've all been going through it.
And I think it's because I started my period.
Oh, damn. That'll do it. That'll do it.
I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, maybe this is why. I don't know.
Damn.
And I haven't felt like that in a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I don't really feel like that, but it was like really down in the dumps where I literally had no motivation, nothing at all.
Like, why am I still here?
Yeah.
I hate when it's those moments when you're PMSing and like you don't want to think about it, but in the back of your head is that lingering thought, like, am I being just a crybaby like bitch, or is it because of my period? And then you get your period and you're like, oh, okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
That was literally me. I was like, oh, it makes sense now.
Sorry for the way I acted, guys.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Fucking just working. But yeah, like seriously, I feel you. Like all this week has just been shitty. Last week I was sick.
Oh no.
I was sick last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I was still going to work, dude.
Oh my gosh. With what?
I was
like
just
a
like
cold
wearing
or?
like my mask and stuff. You can kind of like hear I sound kind of nasally. So I have kind of like a sore throat, just kind of like a cold, you know? And it just kind of like, it's shitty because I hate feeling this way. And then I'm still like pushing through and stuff like that. Like my whole last week was still good though, because the kids had spring break. So I got to like spend time with them on my days off. Like me and Audrey went to go get her nails done. I just got a pedicure. I didn't get my nails done. She got her nails done. And then I got to just kind of like spend time with the kids and stuff since they were like at home. And since I don't work at night, you know, I kind of got to like be with them and stuff like that. But I've been slacking on the gym. I'll get back to it. The gym's always there. I always like now like I feel a lot better about just like skipping the gym. Especially like I have to really like listen to my body now, especially because I work nights. And sometimes I'm like there past 11 and then my drive home, I don't get home till like 12. And it's like this whole thing of like my schedule is just so fucked up. And like in my head, I have to get up early to go to the gym and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I don't have to. I get to go to the gym. I get to like do this for my body. But if I can't, like I'm not pushing myself. Like today I was just like, fuck no. Like, you know, I had to work the bar Saturday, which normally I don't. I normally just work the bar Sundays. So I was exhausted and I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to my body. I'm just going to sleeping a little bit longer. That way, like for my shift later tonight, I don't feel like I'm dragging ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, pretty good. Let me see. I don't have anything coming up except my birthday. Bitch!
Oh my God. That's just in a couple weeks too. Do you have any plans for your birthday?
No.
No?
No, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we will.
So, but that's about it.
What do you want to do for your birthday?
I don't know. Just want to wild out. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't think I ever make plans. I think just shit comes up. You know what I mean? But I don't know. 32. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's crazy though, because like when you think of your 30s, when you're in your 20s, there's no future in sight where you don't feel old, where you don't feel like this is it, or like there's nothing else to look forward to. But like I don't know if it's just my mind change and like the headspace where I'm at, that no matter like where I'm at in my journey or where I'm headed to in my journey, like I'm excited for it, even though like a lot of the shit like I've been going through lately weighs so heavy.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of my mindset isn't what it used to be, where I feel so pessimistic about change. Like I'm not trying to tight grip my expectations, and it's just like, okay, it is what it is, and whatever comes my way. I'll figure it out. Like before, I felt like I had this sense of I needed to have control on what was happening next in my life. That if I didn't agree with it, fuck it. Like I hate this. Like, you know, and now like I've gotten older, I'm like, well, you know what? Like I thought I would be here in my 20s and I'm not, you know, and I thought I would be here in my late 20s going into my 30s and I'm not. And then it's like that constant change, and I guess it's just changing that mindset that like even though like fuck I'm gripping, like barely hanging on, but I'm hanging on, I'm trucking along.
You're here for the ride. That's what I say. I'm like, I'm just here for the ride, dude. Like I have no more expectations of like where I'm supposed to be. Every time I've always wanted control or had plans for something in my life, it never happened. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just here for the ride. Whatever happens and whatever.
And I think that's a big part of those changes, that like fuck, I don't know what's next, or I don't know where I'm headed, or I don't know what to expect. That makes it a little bit like, I don't know, exciting in a way, but I'm just like, it's just hard feeling those feelings and just like letting them be what they need to be, you know? And, you know, hopefully like once I'm in a better headspace and better like situation, like I can talk about it. You know, it's just right now it's personal. It's just something that I have to go through personally. And as always, I feel like the transparency that like we've brought onto the podcast and what we've created this for will just only be a story that like I can tell later with like my head held high, and just like know that like if anyone is going through the same thing, like you're not alone. But
that's a good way to put it.
It's just like it's for the future, so stay tuned. No,
it's only up from here.
No, for sure. But on today's topic, Mel, you brought up an interesting conversation that I've been wanting to have, just because I just want to be like, I'm gonna say it. Some of you women, some of you girls, I don't fuck with y'all. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's true. So a little backstory on how this kind of conversation and this topic came about was I follow an Instagrammer. Her name is Brianna Medea. And she's a van dweller, I guess you could say. So she travels in her van with her 2 dogs. Well, there was an incident that happened about 4 years ago, I want to say. And this is when I started following her. She was married at the time. She had 2 dogs, I believe. And anyway, there was an accident with a dog, and he was run over by her van. And he had to go through extensive surgeries. I mean, he barely even made it. They had to travel several hours away to even get an emergency vet because they lived out in the freaking desert. You know what I mean? And so anyway, the dog was going through all of this stuff. She opened a GoFundMe to help with the dog's recovery process. And so several people donated to this GoFundMe account, myself included. And anyway, she raised hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, you know. And then, so anyway, the dog survived. He's fine. He's still alive. And then several months later, after the fact, she came and she kind of told a little story. I guess she wasn't ready at the time to say what happened with the dog. Well, her husband at the time was driving the van, and he ran over the dog on accident. So as van dwellers, I guess this was normal for them. She even showed photos and videos of the dog. You know, when they're out in the desert, they're driving their van, and the dog is on the side running next to the van. You know,
right? Maybe just to like get
exercise.
Like exercise.
Yeah, and so like that's just what they do. And so anyway, I guess the husband ran over the dog. Well, anyway, it opened up this huge hate campaign on like Reddit snark pages. I've been on, like, honestly, I've been on Reddit for years.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know either. And so I've been on Reddit for years. I've never been on a snark page. I didn't even know that existed. Like, Reddit for me is like an information forum. Like, for information, or like you want to share pictures of your dog, or like just anything other than a snark page. And so anyway, she started sharing, like, people were literally leaving hate comments and talking about her life and everything like that. Like, she's a faker. She's this, that. I mean,
like, she was scamming them.
Yes, she was scamming. Everything that she ever bought and she was an influencer. Like she was making money off brands and stuff. And they thought that everything that she ever bought was from those GoFundMe funds.
Oh, God.
And she was like, no, all of the funds that we raised for her dog went to the dog. But anyway, it like really messed up with her headspace. She ended up getting divorced from her husband. I mean, there was trigger warning, like suicidal thoughts with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so anyway, this came up just recently this week where she started doxing people from these snark pages.
Tell people what doxing is.
So doxing is like, so anything that you put on the internet is not anonymous. Whatever you think it is, it's not anonymous. They're always going to find out who you are. And so doxing, let me find the definition of doxing.
And see, it's not, is it the same thing as when like people swat you, or is that like, because I know for a while people were talking about like doxing and swatting was like the same thing, like during these like really like wishy-washy moments where like TikTokers were like finding people that were like being like racist or like being like Karens or whatever. Is that the same thing?
No, it's not the same thing. So doxing is you search for and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. So what these people were doing with Brianna, with this influencer, is they were sharing personal information about her online.
Oh, that's
sharing
dangerous.
about where she was at private residences. Like, if she was at an Airbnb with a friend, they would find out who her friends were. I mean, they ended up talking ugly about her friend's baby, like,
oh my God,
about their physical appearance. I mean, stuff like that. So, what she did, she went on her own campaign and she hired an investigator, I guess a digital forensic investigator, to find out who these people were behind these usernames on Reddit. So what she did this week was literally she started doxing them. And what these people were doing also, let me add, is that they were going to her brand sponsorships or sponsorship brands and literally telling them not to work with her because she's this, this, and this. So she lost out on a lot of money because these people were doing that to her. But also keep in mind, I don't know if I said this already, but it was her husband that ran over the dog.
Yeah, you said that.
And so when she came out with that and she started like getting on, like she was seeing these snark pages, her husband was getting on these snark pages too.
Dude.
With his own siblings. Also.
So he was on the snark pages, like I guess egging on the whole situation.
Feeding them information.
Bitch.
Along with the brother-in-law and sister-in-law of hers. She's like, I never even met one of them. I think it was the brother. I don't know who it was, but she hadn't even met one of them before. But they were talking about her. She was like, how can they talk about me when they don't even know me personally, right?
Wow.
And so when she was doxing these people, she would like put up their username and she's like, oh, I bet, talking about a nurse, you're a therapist. Why would you talk about me like that? And she would put their comment on her on her story. She's like, this is the comment that you left. And like, it's the username, but she would call them out by their first name and last name sometimes.
Damn.
And then say, you're a teacher. Why would you say that? And so anyway, it's been this whole thing of like, if you're going to go after a bully and they come after you, fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you can't be like why are you doing this? Or like, why are you like putting that out there, or like calling me out like with my profession or blah, blah, blah. That's the same thing like with when people like are racist towards someone else, or they're being like ugly or like saying hateful things. Like, if you don't want it to like bite you back in the ass, especially like when people are losing their jobs over it or whatever because of rhetorics that are like hateful or whatever, why fucking do it? And then cry fucking crocodile tears about like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, or blah, 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 or like I lost my job and I lost this, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're not trying to like find out, don't fuck around.
Yes. And it's like, if you leave comments like that to somebody, you should be able to back it up. Stand up with your chest high.
Say
you made the comment.
Yeah, say
you made the comment, say it, you know? But when somebody comes back and like tries to, I guess, dox you, you know, and call you out on what you've done, don't be upset that they're doing that. Yeah. And it's like, you did this. I mean, I can honestly say I've never left an ugly comment on somebody's page or anything like that. If I don't like them, why would I even try to comment on something? Yeah. Like, I just don't understand it. And the majority of these people that were commenting, she said, I mean, besides her husband and her brother-in-law, all women.
Dude.
All women. Why are women doing this to each other? Is where I don't understand. Yeah. Why are we so ugly towards each other?
That is the crazy part that I've noticed in social media in general. And that goes back a little bit to our last episode with like Selena and Haley. And I get where Selena was coming from, where she was trying to like really pacify the situation and not like let people do this. I get it. But sometimes, bitch, being the bigger person couldn't be me. Yep. Mm-hmm. You're going to come for me, I'm coming back at you. But I hope you couldn't. If you're going to stand in the kitchen, you better be able to handle the heat. Yes. And that's what a lot of you bitches don't fucking like. Because when I turn around and I get ugly, I'm mean, I'm this, I'm bullying.
You didn't have to be that mean.
You didn't have to be like that, blah, blah, blah. And now you're crying that, like, you got your fucking feelings hurt. Yep. Because, bitch, you're going to dish it. You better be able to, like, handle it. Yeah. And that's what, like, I've never looked at someone's, like, their fucking TikTok or their Instagram and being like, ooh, I don't like that. Let me tell her. Yeah. Like, bitch.
Like, who am I to even say that to somebody?
Like, why do I have the energy or need to use the energy in me to be a fucking keyboard warrior to say this when, like, bitch, what is it to you? Mm-hmm. Like, that's why I said I can't fuck with some of you bitches. Yep. Because it's the passive aggressive comments, is the fucking little two-faced snarky comments. And let me tell you, now that we're talking about that, I had posted a while back, I think it was actually last week, where I posted an Instagram story that I'm like, while you fucking posing, it's the pose police coming for me, I'm going to fucking call someone out. And y'all follow the fucking podcast, or you do, girl. And I'm going to say it because it's the same thing. This is why I don't fuck with y'all. She followed us from the podcast after we talked about the whole journey of, like, fitness, blah, 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 right? If the shoe fits, girl, like, wear it. And so she's like, I followed you from the podcast page. I heard the so-and-so episode or whatever. And so I was like, okay, girly, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, and she was like, yeah, I'm thinking of starting my journey. But, like, you know, she would just kind of, like, go back and forth about it. And I think, like, within the last couple of months, she, like, started getting on track of, like, going to the gym. And she was, like, asking me, like, what program do I use? And, you know, I'm the type of bitch that I'm going to give you links. I'm going to give you tips. I'm here to root you on, like, however I can. If I can help you out, you can come work out with me. I'm going to show you. Like, I'm not a bitch that gatekeeps. I'm not a bitch that's going to be like, no, I can't tell you. Like, well, you know, like, that's just not me. If you know me, you know me. And so recently, girl just got, like, confident.
She got brave.
Like, she got brave. But it started, and verbatim shit she would say was like, oh, she's like, you need to teach me to pose like that because I know some girls don't look like that. It's just the pose, right? And I was like, oh, haha, like, okay. And I was just kind of like, I'll laugh at it, or like I would be like, oh, yeah, like definitely like the posing does have something to do with it. And then you're also like, what, like the pump you get after you work out. Mm-hmm. So like your muscles are like constricted and like, yeah, they have blood flowing. Yeah. So they look more accentuated right after it. And that's why you fucking take them. So it'd just be things like that. And then on her stories, she would post like almost like making fun of it. Like, if it wasn't for like posing, like you wouldn't look that way or blah, blah, blah. Like y'all need to normalize normal gym bodies and just like things that she would react on my stories, but yet have like indirect shit on her stories.
No.
Yeah. And so at this point, I felt like it was aimed at me.
Yeah.
And maybe it wasn't, but I did take it a little bit personal because she would react to my shit. And then I would look at her stories, and it's something about like, I don't know why girls have a need to like go to the gym half naked and like wear the shorts up your ass, which I fucking wear a sports bra and my shorts are so far up my ass. I give myself a wedgie on fucking purpose. Like I feel comfortable. I feel good. I feel good enough to wear that to the fucking gym. If you feel some type of a way about that, that's on you, and it's insecurity. That's between you and. I
mean, I only wish I could. I just can't. Like, I just don't feel confident to it. So it's like, why would she say that? It's because she's insecure with herself because she can.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't wear them, baby, like just say that. If you can't pose like that, just say that. Like, if you're insecure, just say that. But it's that's the shit, and that's why I can't fuck with some of y'all. And I was just kind of like, I let it go for a couple months, you know? And then now, after that, she didn't watch my stories. After that one police post I posted, she didn't watch my next one, and she hasn't watched them ever since then. So, yeah.
Oh, so she was one of those, what is it, a keyboard warrior?
Yeah, but don't try to be my friend and
then talk shit afterwards
or be like.
That's why, I mean, this whole, like, I know that you're a girl's girl. I know that you are. And I am too, for the most part. But there's always something in the back of my mind of girls being catty. And that's been on me since I was a child. I mean, girls have always picked on me. I mean, I remember being in so let me tell you a story about girls, like when this first started.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, I was very petite, very small, and I went to school at an all-Catholic girls' school. And so all the girls would pick on me because I was cute and tiny and petite, right? And so when we were in school, we would, like, you know, go around the classroom and play games and stuff. Well, one time, a couple girls pushed me, and my mouth hit the table, the teacher's desk chair, the legs, and busted my teeth. Ooh. And so I was always being picked on. And then that moment, my mom was like, my mom went to the school and told the nuns, because I was at a Catholic school. Yeah. And like, I've been telling you guys, like, she gets picked on, and like, you guys never did anything. I was always picked on, like, all the time by girls at school. I mean, even up until high school and stuff, the girls were always catty. And so that's why I never have felt super secure with being a girl's girl. Is because I feel like girls have always had some sort of, like, vendetta against each other. Not just me, but each other. It's like, you're jealous, you're this, that, or whatever against somebody else because you don't have what they have, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I've never felt like that with any other girl. I've never felt like that. So it's like, I feel like that with other girls with me. And so that's why I feel like I can't ever get too close, because what if, like, if I put my hand in, they're gonna bite me. Yeah. And I just don't want to be like that. Yeah. So.
Well, I think, like, necessarily that's also, like, something that's instilled in us, maybe, from when we're younger, because I feel like there's just always this competition of, like, for instance, like with me and, like, growing up with, like, other girl cousins, and not necessarily a lot of them lived here. Like, a lot of my family is still in Mexico, but, like, my other cousins that live over there, they've been raised differently, right? The societal ways of being raised in Mexico, as in, like, the United States, is completely different too. Like, what you're instilled, especially because, like, you know, not being born here and brought here, it's like for better opportunities, and you should be, like, doing better, or, like, you know, bringing you here for, like, that American dream, sort of say. So when you're not living up to like set expectations of like why you were brought here, then you're falling short of like, well, your cousin's in Mexico and they're doing XYZ. Is the comparisons. It starts within your family.
Yeah.
It starts within your family. Or like I saw a TikTok recently that like was the whole thing of how moms put this pressure on their daughters because of the pressures they were put through from their own mothers, right? And if they felt short of their mother's expectations, then the expectations for the following generations just as much, if not more, right? So it's like almost having that grasp on, well, if I didn't live up to her expectations, then my children should. So then we're repeating cycles of them until we decide to break them. And it's not necessarily just because we're taught to hate each other, but if within our own family dynamics, you're being compared to las primas and this and that, and in the back of your head, you're like, well, sorry, but the prima's a hoe. Or like, the prima smokes weed, or she's an alcoholic or whatever. Like, but we know that they're not what they show they are. Then we go to the outside world with those voices in the back of our heads of like, well, shit, why can't she just be a competition just as much as like family is? Or like feel that like, oh, I have to compete with this person because I have to get better grades than her, or I have to look a certain way than her, because we're literally instilled that, I think, from like really young, and we don't really notice it.
Yeah.
And once we get older and we try to build friendships, it can lean either way. You know, it can lean into a way that you're like, oh, okay, like I can't see her as a competition. I see her as a sister because we've grown these bonds. And when you're insecure in your own ways, everything gets projected.
Yeah.
Your insecurities get projected. And a big part of that, I know, because from being bullied so long, like I flipped the fucking script as I got older.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I'm going to come at you before you come at me. And as I gotten older, like I'm not that way anymore, but I know how fucking ugly I can be.
Yeah.
And then you can't fucking handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that just like we're talking about, like that's why I can't fuck with some of y'all. Like I'll try to, I'll be friends. We'll be cool. I definitely want to like make friends, but I'm also like not stupid, and I'm also not going to just be here to be changed, to be minimizing myself based on like your insecurities. I mean, even when we talked about like the whole like friend breakup that happened, like even that, like reflecting on it, I'm like, I was nice. I could have been way worse than I was, like on that fallout.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm like, growth, because bitch, old Liz would have just fucking dragged your ass. You know what I mean? And like now I think about it and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, fuck it. Y'all come for me. Y'all are going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, I'm not holding back. And then that's why I got to say, like, I can fuck with some of y'all.
Yeah. And I think that's what my biggest worry is like why I can't make female friends a lot of the times, because I don't trust them.
Yeah.
You know, and not just because of my childhood, but even in adulthood, when I had made an outside female friend and she ended up being a narcissist. Dude, you know, and it's like using me for her gain. Yeah. And I just don't have luck with having good friends. I mean, besides you and just a few other handful of people. Yeah. I'm still very wary about making friends who are females, because I never know who they really are. You can act like somebody online and you can be like, hey, let's go have coffee, this, that. And it sounds great. Yes, I want to. But at the same time, like I'm investing my time into you. And if I find out that you're not really who you are, it's going to break my heart. But at the same time, like, I will come for you.
It angers you.
It makes me angry. And at this point in my life, like everything else, like I will call you out. You probably will have an episode in this podcast at some point for how you've treated me. Yeah. And that's just how it's going to go. Yeah. Because I feel like I am authentic to myself in every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
I expect you to be as well.
I think that's the big part of what really angered me about this girl and like her indirect shots at me.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, not once when she followed me was I like
catty,
no,
yeah,
or like or not even like consider like sending her like Amazon links or like shit like that. Like I'm like here telling you like this is what I do, this is what I use, blah blah blah. Like, you know, and also like giving her like encouragement, you know, and it's just like, fuck, like this is what Mel means. Stop trying to be friends with everybody. But it's genuinely in my nature to just be that way. And when it backfires on me, that shit pisses me off. That I'm like,
but see, you're brave. I'm not brave. You're brave enough to like, even if she sent you a message before you saw all that and said, hey, let's get together and like, let's go to the gym together. You'd be like, yeah, that's great. Let's go.
100%. Yeah.
I would be like, nah, girl, like, nah, I go to the gym on Tuesdays. You go on Thursdays. Like, this is not going to, like, I just would not be that way.
Yeah.
And so you're brave in that way where I have like a boundary with certain people and women of like, let's meet when like not one-on-one. Because I don't do well with one-on-one. Like, let's meet in a group setting. Like, hey, we're going to have dinner with a group of people. You want to come? Yeah. And let's meet that way. But like one-on-one, if I get a bad vibe one-on-one, like I'm trying to like emergency, like get me out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just am not that type of person.
Yeah. I think I'm the type of person that wants to always give people an opportunity, no matter what it may or how it presents itself. But I form it. I have the opportunity, and I don't form my opinion of people until like it's too late. You know what I mean? Maybe because I like I said before, it was hard for me to make girlfriends. Yeah. And I know a lot of people want to talk about like girls that can't have girlfriends is because like there's some fucking problem with them and like you only have guy friends and this, and it's like really it's not me. Yeah. It's probably the energy and the confidence that sometimes I do bring, that I'm outgoing, I'm outspoken, you know, like, but like people need to understand it's also not overnight that I've become the person that I am. Yeah. Where I can go into a room and I can just talk to anybody. Like, it has taken me time. And necessarily, yeah, a little bit of it has to do with my personality and who I am. But like, it's not just like overnight I just became this person that can just walk into a fucking like weight room with dudes and not give a fuck about like just going in there and doing what I gotta do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and so let's also in that point is also normalizing that you will not be for everyone. Yeah. Not just because you're nice, just because you're giving and give people opportunities, that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody can be your friend. Yeah. Because some personalities just don't go together. And that's okay. And I think the problem is that we always feel like because we're girls, or we want to be friends with other women, that we can all be friends. But that's not the case. Yeah. We're not all have the same personality. We don't all have the same interests. Like, there's just going to be some things about me that you don't like. There's going to be some things about you that I don't like. Yeah. It's not always doable to be a girl's girl or to be friends with every single person. And another thing that this girl had posted was that these people were making comments of, she's not who I thought she was. And I loved that because these people had these preconceived ideas and of the person that they thought that she should be. Yeah. So get the idea out of your head, whoever these women are or men, whoever, of wanting us to be who you think that we are.
Bitch, facts. Yeah.
Because I'm who I am, and you may like me, you may not like me, and that's okay. But you are giving me too much credit if you think that I'm going to meet your expectations. Ooh.
Girl, you're preaching to the fucking choir. Like,
you know what I mean? And that makes so much sense to me. And I was like, why do we fight so hard for people to like us? And it's like, I'm not for everybody. Don't put me on this pedestal that you think that I should be who you think I am.
100%. Oh, hell yeah. Because do you know how much of a weight is lifted when you don't give a fuck about what other people think, expect, or want from you? Like that alone, it's like, whew, like weight just like, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to make your decisions based on what you want to do. It makes living your life the way that you want to do so much better, that no matter where you're going at in life or how your life changes or the decisions you make, don't fucking affect you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
you like expecting, like you said, like you expecting me to be a certain way, or you expecting me to feel this like almost like a role model type of like ask thing to you, is twisted. It's twisted for you to have expectations, and if they're not met, like for example, this whole thing with like Benito and Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like y'all being like flipping a fucking lid over a man that y'all can't fucking have.
I can't.
It's giving like, you know, just.
And it's mostly the Latinas that are doing it. And it's like, because you're a Latina, do you feel like you have a one-up against Kendall Jenner? I don't know.
Because, bitch, I could never stand next to Kendall Jenner and be like, I look better than her. Because, bitch, she's a fucking supermodel. And she's a Jenner. Like, give her credit where credit is due. If she pulled him, that's on her.
Yeah.
And you're mad over nothing. That's not affecting them at any point of the day. You're losing sleep over what?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, everyone's going to do what they want to do. Everyone's going to live their life the way they want to. And that was someone that brought that up. Like, what if Benito or like, you know, Bad Bunny isn't what y'all expect?
Yes.
And this is what y'all are thinking of him as, like making a song about hating white people, or like, you know, todos quieren ser Latinos, pero les falta el sazón. Like that whole song was about cultural appropriation. It's just music, baby. Yeah. Like I can be singing about like I hate all men, but like I'm booed up.
Yeah. Yep.
I can be posting like I have 20 men, but ain't nobody sliding in my DMs type of shit. You know what I mean? Like
that's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you are only seeing the highlight reels of certain people's lives. You're only seeing what
they want to show you.
Exactly. So
y'all put too much energy into some of these things where I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like I get it's entertainment and it's funny and it's fun, but don't take it so seriously. Don't take it for what it is. Like
everything with a grain of salt.
Everything.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I'm to this point in my life where I'm like, are y'all fucking serious? Like, y'all are mad for this? Like, I thought the Selena Haley thing was funny because I was like, oh, whatever, you know, it's just entertainment.
Cattiness,
it's catty. It's whatever.
And she's going to be having a new album, and, you know, like, it's getting Selena the clout she already had and then some.
Yep. And it's like, what if she's doing this for publicity? Well, y'all took it. Like, we all ate it up, so.
Still eating that shit up.
So it's like you have to just not take everything so seriously.
Yeah. And then y'all are fucking fighting for what? Like, what are y'all really going to do?
I mean, my thing was like when Bad Bunny was making out with a girl with his girlfriend there, I think at some point or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or
at the
he
club
was
or something.
fiance, and then they have an open relationship. I don't know. I hear too many things. Right. I don't know his personal life. Yeah. I just like him as an artist. But it's like, why are we putting this much energy? And so, like, all of this happened with him, with Kendall Jenner. I was like, wait, wasn't he in a relationship? Isn't he engaged?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I'm like, why are we pressed about this?
He's still going to do what he's going to do. Y'all still going to listen. Like, y'all still going to listen to his music. Y'all still going to be buying his albums, his merch, and Benito this and Benito that. Like, you know, even like just like anything in general.
Yeah.
Like when people were like at arms about like the whole Brennifer, like some people were for it, some people weren't. Like, and then that just goes back to like day in and day out. Like, do you really want to put that much energy on something that has nothing to do with you? And that goes back to like social media, feeling like you you gotta say something where like, bitch, no one was calling you. Like, it wasn't even directed. Like, it wasn't even that serious. Like, it wasn't even for you. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes if the shoe fits, whatever. You feel some type of way. I saw this one thing that's like, it said, you stalking and, like, looking at my page, and you're getting mad, but you're not even supposed to be here. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. Yep. You're mad for what? Seen that, you seen that one? But for real, like, you're mad at what? So, like, all in all, I think the less we focus on other people, I promise you will make strides in life for yourself.
Yep.
Like the energy shift.
Especially people you don't personally know. That's the issue. And it's like, you know, even what you say with Bad Bunny and Kendall Jenner, it's like, why are people, especially women, pressed about him being with Kendall Jenner? Like, she's the issue. And it's like, why are we again facing women to women? Yeah, she did nothing to you. She did nothing. Get a man
you couldn't get.
But get a man you couldn't have. You know what I mean? It's like, quit doing this shit to yourselves. Yeah. It's like, really think about what is it that she's doing that is making you so pressed about it.
And even if it's the whole aspect of like y'all are pressed because of the cultural appropriation, at the same time, it's like, if he didn't give a fuck about whatever she's been doing, that's on him. Yep. Everything else is a you problem. Yep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are worried.
But you also don't even know his intentions. What if his intentions are to, like, really get something out of this family? You know, he knows how powerful they are. He's powerful on his own. He doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but it's like himself is a multi-million selling like artist. Like,
we never know his intentions. You'll never know his intentions of what he's trying to do. If this is even real, if this is a PR stunt, like, we don't know. Yeah. So leave it at that.
Is he gonna be? Do you think he's gonna be in the new season? Like, do I want to watch? Y'all are gonna watch. Y'all are
Girl, gonna watch. Well, like, I love the Kardashians. I do. I'm a sucker. Okay, like, I don't give a fuck. People can judge me all they want, but the Kardashians were not invited to the Met Gala this year, which I'm kind of like, what? Because they haven't been in like 10 years, or like they've gone every 10 years, or
because of Kanye. That's why, like,
and it's Kim just like, getting invited. I mean, for as big as they are, not that I care. I don't fucking care, but. Like, for them not going this year, I'm like, wow, that's a huge thing for them not to go this year. Yeah.
But I mean, like, last year, Bad Bunny got invited, didn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's someone's in. No.
Hopefully he'll be there again. Well, I don't know if he can take Kendall if she's not invited.
Oh, you can't? I thought it was like, you don't get a plus one. They get a +1.
Well, Kim was a +1 at Kanye.
That's what I'm saying. So since because of the whole thing with Kanye, because I know for a while they weren't getting invited until Kanye, that whole situation with like, was it Louis Vuitton or who was it, like Dolce & Gabbana or one of those like fashion designers made that one dress for.
I think it was Givenchy.
Oh, okay,
yeah. With the couch dress.
Yeah, with the couch dress. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So like, just in general, and that's the sad thing. Just like going back to like our main point is like, now that she had started doxing people, then now she's the bad guy.
Yeah. Yep. People are like, you know, coming after her like, why are you bullying me? And you know, they feel like they're being bullied now. And she's like, you guys have been bullying me for 4 years now. Like, now that you're getting what you've done to me, it's bullying. How come, you know, when you were doing it to me, you weren't taking it seriously? She's like, when I almost ended up taking my life because of the things that you were doing.
Yeah, we're saying, yeah.
So it's like, really be careful with what you're saying online. Yeah. And whatever you say online is not private. Like, yeah. You're not anonymous. Even though you think you are, you're not anonymous.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to like the whole thing of like, I might get hate for this, but sometimes cancel culture is not what should be it. Yeah. When it comes down to someone honestly making a mistake and trying to like learn from it, or like come back from it and just like really learn from it. Because there are people that just do require being canceled, but yet y'all are still supporting a lot of people. Like for me, Chris Brown is a big one that people just somehow swept that whole shit under the rug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for a while, there was still a lot of people like blaming Rihanna about the whole situation, you know? And it just goes back to like other people, you know, like y'all just forget about it because either cancel culture wasn't as big as it is now. But like sometimes like y'all take it to a point that like it didn't even have to go there because what? Like you got your feelings hurt or like you disagree with someone's point of view, but that's the
like
whole
what
thing.
They did wasn't that big of a deal or it didn't matter. Like I totally understand that. And like, and I agree that people who are quote unquote canceled, that they should be held accountable for their actions, right? But if you hold them accountable and they hold themselves accountable and they apologize for what they did, move on. What else do you want them to do? You're still going to keep egging them on for what they did? If they've already acknowledged and they've already done the part to say they're sorry and they're moving on, allow them to move on. Like, don't keep knocking them down for something that they did 5 years ago or last year.
Especially that when they go back and like, oh, she said this like 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's like, really, let's move on. You know, like I've grown from the person that I was a year ago, 6 months ago. Like I hope somebody doesn't come back and be like, oh, remember you said this 5 years ago? Yeah, I said it 5 years ago and I probably meant it, but I don't mean it right now. Yeah. You know, like let's learn to move on. Like it's so bizarre how all that shit happens.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. And that just goes to that point. Now after she has gone through it for 4 years and she's coming back, you know, with doxing these people and telling them like, you're a teacher and you're saying this and you're a therapist and you're saying this. Like, bitch, if that happens more often, a lot of you bitches would have no place to fucking hide and let alone get to have this life of no consequences.
Yes.
When you say something ugly to someone, when you threaten someone's life, when you literally have them at fear that you are going to like put out like personal information. Like, don't say something and not fucking expect consequences for you saying that. Even though they're fucking words, then you better fucking eat that bitch up because you fucking said it at a point you meant it and now it's coming to bite you in the ass. I'm sorry, not sorry. You get what you deserve.
Yes. Oh my God. I totally am for that. Yeah. And I'm for anybody. If you get a hate comment, if anybody gets a hate comment, whatever that is towards you and how you feel, I 1000% agree and am for you calling out this person. Make them pay for what they say. Yeah. Don't let them hide behind a keyboard or whatever, because that's the only way that we can like knock down these hateful things or hateful comments that people leave. Yeah. Is like calling them out. Yeah. Like, don't just like sweep it under the rug. Yeah. No, fucking call them out. Yeah. 1000%.
Yeah. And especially if you're a fucking woman.
Yes.
Doing it to another woman. Yes. Like, I wish I had enough energy to like go on like TikTok and being like, bitch, why the fuck are you saying this? Or like, you know, like, but again, that's like not my battle to fight. Like, you should be able to do that on your own. And like, I support it. But like, yeah, like if you call them out and instead of like ignoring them or letting these words affect you when they don't pay your bills, they don't like support you in any type of way, like fucking get back at them, you know? And that's what I love about like, for instance, like Drew.
Yes.
Drew is like fucking top tier, like best clap back. Like, this bitch will make these men cry. Yep. But like, some of y'all bitches need to get your fucking feelings hurt so y'all can stop.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever Drew does to these men, and if it's a woman leaving you this comment, do it the same fucking thing. Go research them. Go do it. Bitch. Go drag them. I'm serious. That's the only. I feel like that's the only way that we can like battle this and conquer these hateful things that happen to us women. Yeah. Because it's mostly women on women shit that happens. Yeah. That's true. Like, men is easy. I feel like men are easy to like whatever.
That's
like,
everywhere.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, men are fucking easy. But as like a woman to woman, like, we're fighting the same fucking battles.
Why would you fight against someone that's fighting the same thing as you? Yeah.
That's what I just don't understand. So like, men are fucking easy. Like, they can eat dog shit for all I care.
Right.
But like, for as a woman, no. Like, if you leave something hateful, I'm dragging your ass.
Yeah. And we get prepared for the consequences.
Yes. 1000%.
Yeah, and I I posted this the other day, and I still laugh at it because it's like I literally cannot be the bigger person. I'm fucking short. Like,
I love that. No,
like,
seriously.
bitch, I will not. I will no longer be the bigger person. I will literally come full charge if you come for me for any type of reason, regardless if there's no disagreeing to agree type of situation. Like, bitch, I don't agree with you, and I will not disagree to agree with you.
Yep.
Like, you're a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm gonna tell you to your face. Like, I'm no longer.
And that is me protecting my inner child.
Yes.
For the the child,
for what
I went through as a child, I stand up for myself and for any other woman who is getting bullied for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not fair. Like, I could understand children, like, being a child, but you're a grown-ass woman, you're a therapist, you're a teacher, and you're doing this shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, I would not want you teaching my child.
Yeah. Or being a therapist and, like, trying to, like, you yourself need therapy, bitch.
Yes. Who made you mad? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Like, bitch, how are you a therapist, but yet you need more therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. And that really doesn't, I'm not saying I'm here to hate on all women.
No.
Like,
no.
I want to clarify, I'm not here to be ugly to every woman, to be ugly to every sister out there or anybody that I've ever met. If I've ever met you in my life, like, this is not for you.
Yep.
I hope, like, y'all understand, like, this is not for you.
Yeah. No,
now,
not at all.
The bitch I talked about earlier, if you felt some type of way, I would have preferred the distance. I would have preferred I don't need your help, or I don't need this, I don't need that, or shit, fucking unfollow me.
Mm-hmm.
No need to keep me as your friend if you feel some type of way about me.
Yeah.
Ever. If you ever feel some type of way about shit I say, I post, I do, I've offended you by my actions, by what you see, feel free to, like, walk out.
Yep.
Feel free to unfriend me. Feel free to block me. Like, or tell me, like, I can't be your friend, bitch. I'll unfriend you, unblock you, let you be in peace without me in your life.
Yep. I
will always advocate for if me being away from you in your life, regardless of how we've met or whatever, if my absence brings you peace, I am so happy for you.
Yep.
And I pray that you keep that peace, because that's what you should always strive for, is, like, keeping your peace and holding that for yourself, because that takes a lot. Mm-hmm. It takes nothing to be a hateful bitch just watching my shit 24/7.
Yep.
I mean, it does take energy, but, like, that's a conversation you need to have with yourself. Yeah. But, like, just in general, like, if my absence brings you peace, good. Let that be that. Yep. But don't fill yourself with this hate and energy that you don't need, because I'm not asking you to keep me in your life. I'm not asking anybody to keep me in their life if it's not necessary, you know? Like, let it go, boo, because they don't hurt me none.
It's so much wasted energy for people to do that to themselves, too. Yeah. Like, for what? Like, you could be doing that. You could be using that energy to, like, doing something that makes you happy. Yeah. Instead, you're using it to somebody that you don't like. You don't like what they post. You don't like how they dress. You don't like how they look. For what? Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. So go on with somewhere else with that energy, because it's not going to be useful here. Yeah.
And you yourself, there's some inner work that you yourself have to
go. Let's get a therapist.
Yeah. Seriously. Because it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me just pulling on my phone, looking at something and be like, oh, I don't like what she's wearing. Let me fucking tell her, like, she cares. Like, she cares. Because I didn't think about you twice before I posted this. Right? I didn't think about you twice before I walked out the door with what I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. With the makeup I decided to wear. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, let's collectively just come together and just realize that what someone else is doing has nothing to do with you, and how they live their life has nothing to do with you. And if you're going to be a girl's girl, be a girl's girl. Yep. But don't be a fucking, like, passive aggressive, scary little bitch.
Don't say nice shit and then later on go everything against you just said. Yeah. Like, that's just What for?
We notice. We as women, we notice.
Like, I just don't get it. I don't get why that person would even do that.
Yeah. I can't relate. Can't relate. But in other words, I wish her well because I know after this, bitch, someone's getting unfriended. I wish you well, and I really do hope my absence brings you happiness, and I really do hope that you work on yourself. And if you feel some type of way about this, I don't have you blocked. I don't have you unfriended. And if you want to apologize or, like, grow up, then my DMs are always open to anybody. Not just her. I feel like if anybody ever has anything to say, especially like in the podcast where like we're going to say shit that we said we were going to say and we weren't holding back, like come through. Like we can have like adult conversations and adult disagreements, and that's fine. And if you want to always be a girl's girl no matter what a bitch does, then that's on you, boo. Yeah. That's on you. Be a girl's girl no matter what they do to you. Couldn't be me because you're not fucking playing me like that, you know? Even if you are an acquaintance, a friend, or anything like that, I just know that my boundaries are where they're at, and I'm not pushing them back for anybody because you feel some type of way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. I mean, I think this was a great episode to just talk it out of, like, women against women. Like, it's okay if we can't, our personalities don't mesh well together. Yeah. It's not okay to go against each other based on our looks, ugly about who we are, or anything like that. Like, it's unnecessary. I don't see men doing that. You know, and not that I'm not a man, so I don't really have, like, I just don't see it often that men coming after men for whatever reason. It's mostly women after women, and I think that's just
true. That makes the drama.
And like it's just so unnecessary, and I feel like it gives men more power over us because I feel like the patriarchy is working for us going against each other.
100%. Like, so, have you heard internalized misogyny?
Yes.
Like, that's a fucking thing.
And so I feel like we need to stick together, whether we get along or not. The unnecessary comments, we don't need them. You know, it's unnecessary. Yeah. You know, move on. Use your energy somewhere else. Do something for yourself, or, you know, it's not here. Yeah. And it won't be tolerated here.
No, hell no. And that's what I mean. Like, I get it, like, what our podcast is and has been. But you just have to be honest with it that I can't support all you bitches. Yeah. And that's okay. And I don't mean bitches as in, like, a bad thing. I mean, just... term of endearment. If you know me, like, I'm going to call everyone a bitch. But, like, just in general, like, I do really think, like, if there was less hate between women, men had nothing to, like, use against each other. Yep. You know what I mean? And if we fight these situations of, like, the way you come at me, we're going to be going at it the same way. Let's see who stands last. Like, then that's also something I 100% sponsor. Like, fight it fire with fire, because, bitch, it's going to end up going out either way.
Brushing it under the rug and being the bigger person is just not working anymore. It's not the game we're playing anymore.
Bitch, I'm under 5 feet. Why the fuck? I'm under 5 feet, bitch. Why do I need to be the bigger person?
I was never the bigger person.
Never. I've never been the bigger person. I shop my shoes at, like, Kids Journeys.
Oh, my God.
I can't be the bigger person. So, yeah. No, this was definitely, like, much needed to talk about because, now that you brought that up, I was like, oh, yeah, I have something to talk about why I can't fuck with a lot of y'all. But what I know with myself is I really love that I am still able to hold a little bit of that, like, I still want to make friends regardless. Like, I'm not closed off to it, but I'm also, like, not welcoming every bitch with open arms. Yeah. You know, because lessons are learned, you know, you kind of know, and then the energies, you feel it. And I'm that type of person that if I can't take off in a good conversation with you, or I can't relate to certain things, like, there's no point in wasting our time. And that's okay. Like you said, I'm not meant for everybody, and everybody's not meant for me. And that's okay. Like, let's just go on.
Yeah, you can be acquaintances. You don't have to be best friends, best buddies, or anything like that. Just, acknowledge each other and then move on.
Yeah. But yeah, look at us. We're so grown. Are we though?
But I'm ready to call out any bitch that comes after us. Anytime.
Anytime. Yeah, dude. But
anyway, I hope this conversation and this topic was useful for y'all.
I hope so too. I know.
So don't be a keyboard warrior. If I ever find out any one of y'all is one of those fucking behind those snarky pages, not just this one, but any of them, I swear to Bob.
Blocked.
I hope you get doxxed.
Yeah. Shit. We need an IT guy to just let us know who's talking about shit about modern day mujeres, because
I haven't even checked. I don't even care.
I don't either. I haven't even checked like our reviews. I haven't checked nothing.
Me either. I kind of want to stay away because I'm afraid, but because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, even like with us returning like the way we have, like we've been consistent.
Yeah.
But it's like the numbers are whatever, the listeners.
No, I totally agree. Like it doesn't matter. It's not as important to us as it once was, because I feel like we're already in this point in our podcast career of being confident in who we are, that the numbers don't matter as much anymore.
Oh, I think like we're at a point where we've kind of like established where we're at and where we're taking it, because before we really did want to sort of say like get out there and then just like see where it took us. And now it's just kind of like we should have always been where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where we don't care. Like we're doing this for fun. Like we're not doing this to like make money or like flood you guys with sponsors, or like every 15 minutes we're cutting out. Sorry. And doing that because like for us, this is what it's been. It's like our healing journey, like almost like our diaries in a way of like how we've been living like the last couple of years. So now it's just kind of like who's here is here, and we love you guys. And I personally just have a lot I'm going through, and what you guys get is what you get. And I hope that like either you decide to stick around or you don't, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say. You don't like it, that's fine. And it's just like, it's just is what it is. And I love everyone that's been here or is new here or that has just listened to one episode and just like, we're not for them. Like, that's okay too. Like, you choose like what you want to engage with. And I think that's what makes our podcast like that much better, is that it's not simply niche down.
Yeah.
Because there's like everything under the roof like for it. So like you pick and choose, and that's necessarily like, I think that's what makes us because we're not just the same person. You know, we share different perspectives, and even though we do agree on a lot of the things, but that's just because we've known each other, and like, yeah, you do have to share some of the same like likes and dislikes and have some like mentalities, because if we're literally like day and night, how are we gonna like be able to like communicate and like this is something that we can both have different views but yet come together and have the agreements, you know? So it's hard to find women like that, and that's why like it's hard to even say like I can't support all women. Yeah, because like the friends that I do have are amazing women, and that's why I love you guys for who you are, because you guys love me for who I am. Yeah. And so it's hard to be like, I can't support every one of you, because I wish I could. Mm-hmm. I really wish I could, but I can't support the Casey Anthonys of the world. Yeah. I can't support the fucking homewreckers of the world. Yeah. Like there's just some women that I honestly just can't fuck with. And
that's a good way to put it.
Like, you know, it's just, it is what it is. And if you're going to sit here and tell me you can support those type of women, then you got to look inside, because internalized misogyny, y'all got to fucking look it up, because it's real. Yeah. So.
Wow, I didn't really think about that. Yeah. Like giving examples of the type of women that you can't like support, you know, like knowing that not every woman is the same. Like even if she's a mom or she's a mom, is she really a mother?
Yeah.
You know, like moms who don't take care of their kids. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're a girl's girl, but you know, and you support mothers, but this is a mother that gave up her children.
Yeah. To me, like, I have no respect for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard
I never even thought about, like, putting it that way, but, yeah, that makes total sense. So, yeah, I mean, you can't say that you're for all women. Yeah. You really aren't.
Yeah. Because I want a bitch that can stand in front of me and say, I support Casey Anthony. Because we're throwing fucking hands on site. On site.
I mean, I watched her thing, but I still don't support her.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you still had some fucking issues going on that as a mother you should not have done. Like, that's just a whole different story.
No, it is. But I'm saying, like, if you can sit here and tell me those are the type of women you can support, bitch, I'll support sex workers all day. Mm-hmm. I'll support a hoe living her best whole life. I'll support a single mother doing what she has to do. Like, I am for supporting all women to a certain extent, but we have to acknowledge that there is just some women you can't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Because, bitch, you just can't.
Agreed. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was healing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it needed to be said.
Yeah, it did.
So,
let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, I definitely do. I do want to hear your thoughts on it. Are you a girl's girl, or are you a girl's girl to certain girls? And that's okay. That's okay if you are. Mm-hmm. Like, to each their own.
Yeah. What you think about doxing? Whatever.
Oh, okay. Fucking do it. I want the whole fucking placard with, like, this is what you said, and this is your fucking occupation and your fucking full name.
And your employer.
And your employer. Oh, if we did that more often, y'all bitches would have nothing to fucking say.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys like this episode, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.